guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a new video for you. It's about time, right? But I have a July book haul. Y'all, I went ham and I am now on a book buying ban until the end of the year, mainly because I have to read all these books, but also because I do not want to be homeless living on the street, because I don't have any money to pay my rent or any of my bills because I've been buying books. So without further ado, there's a lot in here to uncover, unwrap, and talk about, so let's get started. All right, so let me give the disclaimer. I did get these books for a pretty good deal. However, I still need to chill out on buying books because I really do need to read these. And before I buy anything else, I want to make sure that I get through these books. Now, I am a patron at my local library, so if I do see any books that I do want, I will read them if the library has them, but I'm really going to try to be more intentional about not buying any more books because I'm going to run out of room to store all of these because my apartment is only so big. So let's get into the book haul, okay? The first book I have is called The Vanishing season. I don't know. Yeah, y'all should be able to see that, okay? It is by Joanna. Y'all can read it. Y'all can see it, okay? I don't know how to pronounce her last name, but this particular book did receive the first crime novel award. So, let's see what it says. It says, this is a chilling tale of suspense for fans of Julia Heron. I don't know, somebody. Anyway, 14 years ago, teenager Ellery Hathaway was the victim number 17 in the grisly murder spree of a serial killer named Francis Michael Coben. She was the only one who survived. So Coben is safely behind bars. And Ellery has a new identity in a sleepy town where bike theft makes the newspapers. But each July for the last 3 years, locals have been disappearing. Then Ellery receives strange messages hinting that the culprit knows exactly what happened to her all those years ago. When she tries to raise the alarm, nobody will listen to her, and she is terrified that she might be next. So she has to turn to the one person who might believe her story. So this is I would say a psychological thriller. The lighting is kind of weird. I'm really excited to dive into this. Thrillers and mysteries have been super heavy on my list here, my reading list lately, and on my interest. So I'm excited to see what that's about. This next book is called The Third Twin by CJ somebody. There you go, if you need to know. Boom. Okay. It says, it started out as a joke. When they were little, Lexi and her identical twin, Ava, made up a third sister, Alicia. If something broke, Alicia did it. Alicia was always to blame for everything. Now the game is all grown up. Stop. The girls are seniors and they use Alicia as their cover to go out with guys who they'd never ever be with in real life. But sometimes games just aren't worth playing. A boy has turned up dead and DNA evidence and surveillance photos point only to one suspect, Alicia, the girl who doesn't exist. Ava insists that if they keep following the rules for being Alicia, everything will be fine, but Lexi isn't so sure. She must find out the truth before another boy is murdered. Stop. Come on. I am so excited to read this. Once again, this is a thriller, so I'm excited to see what this is about. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. This next one is called What She Knew. See if y'all can see that. This is by Gilly Macmillan. Okay, there we go. It says that this is this a thriller? I don't know. Anyway, Rachel Jenner is walking in a Bristol park with her 8-year-old son, Ben, when he asks if he can run ahead. It's an ordinary request on an ordinary Sunday afternoon, and Rachel has no reason to worry until Ben vanishes. Ben, where'd you go? Okay, the police are called, search parties go out, Rachel feels herself coming undone, right? Get it. As hours and then days pass without a sign of Ben, everyone who knew him is called into question. Immediately, media attention focuses on Rachel too, and the public's attitude toward her begins to shift from sympathy to suspicion. Dun dun dun. As she desperately pieces together the threadbare clues, Rachel realizes that nothing is quite as she imagined it to be, and the greatest dangers may not lie in the anonymous strangers of every parent's nightmare, but behind the familiar smiles of those she trusts the most. Where is Ben? The clock is ticking. Come on. What She Knew, another thriller, another one I can't wait to get into. Next, we have Eve of Man by Giovanna and Tom Fletcher. It says, how do you choose between love and the future of the human race? So it says, against all odds, she survived. The first girl born in 50 years, they called her Eve. So all her life, Eve has been kept away from the opposite sex, kept away from the truth of her past. But at 16, it's time for Eve to face her destiny. 3 potential males have been selected for her. Ooh. The future of humanity is in her hands, and she always accepted her fate until she meets Bram. Eve wants control over her life. She wants freedom. But how do you choose between love and the future of the human race? Interesting. So it looks like it's up to this girl, since she's the only female born in the last 50 years, to repopulate the earth, which sounds like a lot of pressure. I mean, I'm just saying. And now she has to choose between love, and her job. It's always a woman that's stuck between, like, do I follow my career or do I follow the love of my life? But what do I know? Okay, next one. I've already started this one. This is called Girl Last Seen by Nina Lauren. Okay, so I'm already just like 20 pages in. I'm on chapter 3 already. So far, it's pretty good. It says, Olivia Shaw has been missing since last Tuesday. She was last seen outside the entrance of her elementary school in Hunts Point wearing a white spring jacket, blue jeans, and pink boots. I forced myself to look at the face of the photo, into her slightly smudged features, and I can't bring myself to move. Olivia Shaw could be my mirror image rewound to 13 years ago. I've spent a long time peering into the faces of girls on missing posters, wondering which one replaced me in that basement. But they were never quite the right age, the right look, the right circumstances, until Olivia Shaw, missing for 1 week tomorrow. Whoever stole me was never found, but since I was taken, there has never been another girl, and now there is. So this is a psychological thriller. And it is told from the perspective of a girl who was kidnapped 13 years ago. She now has a new identity and has to try to kind of start life over again. It also talks about how she is like a rarity because her kidnapper decided to let her live, but she has no idea who he is. Nobody ever knows who her kidnapper was, and now there's another girl missing, and she feels like she should be able to help her. But like I said, there's only like 3. I'm only 3 chapters in, so I might be getting that totally wrong. But from just the first 3 chapters that I read, that's kind of the premise of the book. Next one, totally unrelated. This is called The Gifts of Imperfection by Miss Brene Brown, or Dr. Brene Brown. It says, let go of who you think you're supposed to be and embrace who you are, your guide to a wholehearted life. So I watched a Netflix special of Brene Brown, The Gifts of Imperfection. I really enjoyed the episode. I really liked her approach and the way that she tells or gives information as well as personal stories. I myself, I hit the mic. I myself am a therapist, but I also am a sucker for a good self-help, self-development book. I'm also doing some self-exploration here, and I'm curious to see if perfectionism is something that I struggle with. I don't feel like it is, but I feel like I have like small traits of perfectionism, just kind of interweaved into who I am as a person. So it'll be fun just trying to see what this book is about. I have already started it. I'm about halfway through, and it's been really good. Brene Brown is notorious for doing research on shame and guilt, and she has touched briefly on both of those, which is really interesting to me. So I love a good self-help, self-development, or self-exploration book, and it's been really good so far. The next book I got is A Darker Shade of Magic by V.A. Schwab, and I think this is like a well-known book, but I know nothing about it. So long story short, it says that Kel is one of the last Antari magicians with a rare, coveted ability to travel between parallel Londons. There's Red London, where life and magic are revered. Grey London, without magic and ruled by a mad King George III. And White London, a city slowly being drained through a magical war, down to its very bones. And once upon a time, there was a Black London, but no one speaks of that now. So it looks like he goes in between Londons, but he's also a smuggler. And he stumbles into something that has to do with Black London. Anyway, prepare to be dazzled by a world of parallel Londons where magic thrives, starves, or lies forgotten, and where power can destroy just as quickly as it can create. Cool. This sounds cool. I'm not really into like magic and stuff. Like I'm more of a thriller, contemporary type of chick, but this is interesting and I'll give it a read. It's been circling around like YouTube or the book community for a hot second now, so I figured why not check it out. It might be something that I would normally not gravitate toward but actually like, so I'm interested to see how that will translate. The next book I got, which is another psychological thriller, is Last Seen Alive by Claire Douglas. And it says she can run, but she can't hide because someone knows her secret. So Libby Hall needs to hide to escape from a personal and public tragedy, which is why the house swap with the Haywoods is a godsend. Libby can't believe her and her husband Jamie's good fortune in exchanging their tiny city flat for a beautiful haven on the English coast. But before they can relax, Libby makes some disturbing discoveries about the house. The peace and isolation of the getaway begin to feel threatening. How are they alone? Why does it feel like someone is watching them? When it feels that Jamie is hiding, so her husband, when it feels like Jamie is hiding something from her, Libby's paranoia gets the best of her. It should, for she has buried secrets of her own. But now the past starts crawling out of the darkness, and she, Libby, feels like she's walking into a trap. So yeah, how far is she willing to go to let her past deeds be hidden? This sounds really interesting. A psychological thriller. Once again, I like mysteries, I like thrillers, I like psychological thrillers, so I'm interested to see how this will translate. Yeah, I mean, I got a lot of thrillers here, and thrillers have a typical pattern, but I'm like looking forward to the twists and turns of like what will happen in each book. Next, we have The Cabin. This is by Natasha Preston. And yeah, boop, 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 boop. It says that they think they're invincible. They think they can do what they want they think they can do and say whatever they want. They think there are no consequences. They've left me no choice. It's time for them to pay for their sins. Stop. A weekend partying at a remote cabin is just what Mackenzie needs. She can't wait to let loose with her friends, but a crazy night of fun leaves two of them dead. Murdered. With no signs of a forced entry or struggle, suspicion turns to the 5 survivors. Someone isn't telling the truth, and Mackenzie's first mistake, assuming the killing is over. Stop it right now. I can't wait. I'm excited. I'm excited to crack that open. The next one is The Optimist's Guide to Letting Go. The Optimist's Guide to Letting Go by Amy E. Richard. It says, love yourself in this rich and rewarding, no, not love yourself. I can't read. Lose yourself in this rich and rewarding read. Okay, let's see. 3 generations, 7 days, one big secret. The author of whoever unfolds a mother-daughter story told by 3 women whose time to reckon with a life-altering secret is running out. So the main character wants to make it through one day without her facetious mother, Lorraine, cataloging all her faults and all her sullen teenage daughter. Wait, what? Okay, long story short, this lady has an overbearing, facetious mother, okay? And She has a teenage daughter who's really hard on her too. Then her mama has a stroke and she stumbles upon a family secret that her mom has kept hidden for 40 years. It says, in the face of her mother's failing health and her daughter's rebellion, this optimist might find that piecing together the truth is the push she needs to let go. So, yeah, I really have nothing to say about this. It seems cute. To be honest, I really just like the cover. Is that terrible? It's probably terrible. But it is what it is. So I'll read it, and if I don't like it, then I'll just donate it. This next one, I love this cover, y'all, but it hasn't gotten good reviews at all on Amazon. It's called The Nest, and it's by Cynthia somebody Sweeney. Okay, and it just says, what does it say? Every family has its problems, but even amongst the most troubled, the Plum family stands out as a spectacularly dysfunctional family. Years of simmering tensions finally reach a breaking point on an unseasonable cold afternoon in New York City as Melody, Beatrice, and Jack gather to confront their charismatic and reckless older brother Leo, who's freshly released from rehab. The Nest is a story about the power of family, the possibilities of friendship, the ways we depend upon one another, and the ways we let one another down. Okay, this looks like some family drama stuff, just like kind of looking into different types of families, I guess, and seeing how they're interconnected and seeing how they function and how they work. Cool. Really, I only bought it because of the cover. I'm going to be honest. And I looked at the reviews on Amazon, and they weren't that great, but I don't mind it. I really want to see what it's about. Once again, not something I would typically pick up, but I got to read outside my comfort zone or outside of my typical reading genres, because that's the only way to discover what I do and don't like. This next one is called Three Dark Crowns by Kendar Blair. Wait, what? Kendar Blake. And this has been going around for a while too. This is a pretty well-known book. So I'm just going to give you a quick synopsis. It says, there are three queens, all equal heirs to the crown, and all each a possessor of a coveted magic. Mirabella is an elemental able to spark hungry flames or vicious storms at the snap of her fingers. Catherine is a poisoner, one who can ingest the deadliest poisons without so much as a stomach ache. And somebody else, I don't know her name, a naturalist, is said to have the ability to bloom the reddest rose and control the fiercest of lions. Oh, that's cool. But becoming the queen crowned isn't solely a matter of royal birth. Each sister has to fight for it. And it's not just a game of win or lose, it's life or death. The night the sisters turn 16, the battle begins. The last queen standing gets the crown. Sounds cool. What is that other? Arsino? Maybe that's the other chick's name, the other queen's name. Sounds cool. I am a sucker for matte black books. I had heard about it before. It got great reviews on Amazon. It's been floating around BookTube and stuff. This is not anything new. And yeah, it sounds interesting. I typically wouldn't read a fantasy or like I said, magical type of book, but this is me reading outside of my comfort zone and seeing what I like or dislike. The last one, I have been looking for this coupon that I have been using as a book holder. That's a shame. Anyway, is Emotional Intelligence, and it's by Gil Hassan. And it's just talking about managing emotions to make a positive impact on your life and career. I've already started reading this. Like I said, I'm a really good, I'm a big sucker for self-help, self-development, or self-exploration books. It just talks about how to be more assertive and confident, express how you feel, what you want and what you don't want, understand what others are feeling, and forge stronger relationships, blah, 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 blah. So the therapist in me and the chronic student in me loves to learn, loves to read anything about cognitions or emotions or health. So I'm excited to finish this book. I'm already halfway through this as well. It's pretty enlightening, and it really gives you good insight on how to manage and understand not only your emotions, but the emotions of other people as well. So that is my book haul. That's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 books. I do not plan on reading all of these in the month of July. This is just a July book haul. I have cracked one open and started, well, I've cracked like 3 of them open. The Brene Brown book, this emotional intelligence book, and then the one about, I think it's called, yeah, Girl Last Seen. But those are the 3 that I plan on finishing for sure in the month of July, and then maybe cracking open one of these other ones. I still have like a ton of other books I have to read as well, so I'm really going to try to work through these books that I already have here in my house before I go to the library and try to rent out something else. So I hope you enjoyed this book haul. Hopefully, if any of you have read any of these books, let me know what you think. If you've heard of any of the books and you're interested in kind of knowing more about them, let me know. Or if you have them and you want to, I don't want to say, well, we could buddy read. If y'all want to buddy read, that's cool too. I got to get through these other 3 first though. But I'm interested to see what y'all think, if you've read any of the books, and what your opinions on the books are as well. So that is it. I am done. I'm getting out of your way so you can go watch another video. Thank you so much for watching. If you like me and my vibe, then feel free to like, subscribe, and do all the things. Until next time, I will see y'all then. Bye.